Hey guys, what to do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. I am back. I am back. I know I'm back like so often, but I'm back with a weekly recap instead. That's what I'm gonna try to do, a weekly recap. I'm gonna do a manga one separately, and I'm gonna do a webtoon one separately. So that's like 2 videos a week. I'm not gonna pick a specific day to do it. All I'm gonna say is that's gonna be once a week per type of review. So for the manga one is what I'm going to start with because that's what I've caught up with on everything. With the webtoon, I'll no longer be as fast as the paid one because I don't have a bank account at the moment. My bank closed down, shut down recently, so it's going to take me a while to get a bank account sorted. So unfortunately, I won't be able to be on time until, I don't know, maybe another month or something. But you'll get videos from me. Hopefully more consistently. I have a studio, I have a space now where I can do these videos. I'll probably give you guys a tour one day when it's all set up and done. But yeah, I've been working hard, guys. I've been working hard on just different things, and I've been writing my book. I just been keeping busy, you know. Have an album pretty much ready. Just need to master the last few songs, like, you know, while working full time, 4 jobs kind of, you know what I mean. But we doing it. We doing it. So the first manga I want to start off with is Jujutsu Kaisen because it's been fantastic. The calling games have been amazing. Yuta Okotsu is sensational. Hakari, sensational. But we love Hakari, boy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously we got Chozo. We got so many characters, Maki, all of that. But I want to talk about the latest chapter. The latest chapter was sensational as well. Kenjaku, I hope I'm saying these names right, by the way, because the problem with me in reading mangas, I never remember names. You know what I mean? I kind of like read a manga Kenjaku. I kind of read a manga and I see a person and I'm like, yeah, I know that person. Do you know what I mean? So Kenjaku, sorry, I got to get these pronunciations right. But yeah, so Kenjaku is fighting, I think Chozo, right? Chozo, the guy that always claims to be goddamn Itadori's brother. I think his name, man, I am terrible. See, this just is it goes to show how out of practice I am, that it's taken me so long and so difficult for me to even like talk about shit that normally I would just spill out. But his name is Choso, and basically the chapter begins with the other special grade. It's a special grade that we don't know really, which is kind of interesting because we have all these special grades and the only one that we actually really don't know is who's the chapters, or the past few chapters have kind of been focused on. And you know, we basically have a conversation between her and Chozo where she's explaining that, look, you're going to die if you fight Kenjaku, right? And he's like, yes, but you know, it's worth it, you know what I mean, to gain as much of an advantage as we can by trying to push him to at least open his domain expansion or something, so you have the upper hand. And well, she you know, and she's like the only character whose abilities we literally don't know anything at all about, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know Yuta's domain. We don't know his domain expansion, but we know he has one for certain. And we know not every sorcerer has a domain expansion in the first place, or can use a domain expansion in the first place. Megumi only has a partial domain expansion. Obviously, Maki simply doesn't have a domain expansion, but domain expansions also just don't work on her anyway. So it's really, really interesting. I like, you know, the variety. And obviously, Hakari's domain expansion is just the biggest hack of all time. It's like, what do they call it? It's like plot armor done right. You know what I mean? But Yuki, we have no idea. We have no idea what she does. All we know is that she can somehow talk to spirits. So her domain and curse ability are probably something to do with spirits. Now, Kenjaku explained in the previous chapter that special grade sorcerers can take on a whole country by themselves. So obviously that means that Yuki must be broken as fuck. She must be OP as fuck. We know that even Hakari is in special grade. He's close to it. He basically like a semi-special grade. But I can't really see Hakari taking on a whole country because he does have a 4-minute time limiter, etc, etc, etc. When you look at somebody like Yuta, who does have a 5-minute limiter, but his Rika is so OP, and he himself without it is so OP that I don't think it really matters. You know what I mean? And he can keep replenishing his he's course energy. But I mean, so can Hakari, since he's he also has like a special version of his goddamn what does he get, bonus whatever perks that he gets from his domain expansion, that he probably has something else special. So I don't know, Hakari probably might as well be a special grade, to be honest. He did beat up a higher up. But anyway, yeah, so you know, they have this conversation, and Chozo basically says, look, I don't mind, I don't care if I die in the middle of this, you know, for the sake of his brothers and his brother's death, he wants to make up for it. And we all know why Chozo is brothers with Itadori. For a while, I didn't know, I didn't get what the fuck he meant, but we later discovered that Kenjaku is actually Itadori's mother, which is crazy. Like, Kenjaku is just such a weird guy. And we find out his motivation. His motivation is just, fuck it, because I just want to see what will happen. You know what I mean? Like, chaos for the sake of chaos. What a mad bastard. But it's super exciting. It's super exciting. But anyway, Chozo starts fighting him, and Kenjaku is literally, he dodges, you know, his spear, his blood spear, and with ease, he doesn't even care. Like, it's nothing to him. And they fight and fight. And basically, Kenjaku was calling him a failure, calling his brothers a failure, and even says Itadori is kind of useless. Like, I mean, I suppose he's already been used for what he's needed for, and that's to be a host for Sukuna, and as a result, like, that's it. That's all he's good for, basically. You know what I mean? And obviously this pissed off Chozo, who's like a strong connection with his brothers. And I think he's been around for around 150 years, allegedly, because he keeps talking about 150 years, I think so. And it's kind of crazy, basically, how Kenjaku was just spitting his shit, bro. He's just chatting shit. And no matter what Chozo was doing, Kenjaku was just seamlessly dodging everything. Do you know what I mean? And Kenjaku says something interesting. He goes, as long as that thing, and he calls Itadori that thing, which is fucking crazy, right? And it names Sukuna with his name, but calls Itadori that thing, since he's like a cursed baby, just like the rest of his brother. But I think he obviously has a higher potential. Itadori has a higher potential than Chozo and the rest of them. But we saw that Itadori was struggling against Chozo, and yet Kenjaku is literally beating him up like it's nothing. He basically says that Itadori will become the eye of the storm for the new era. Basically, he's the safety point of the new era, or he's the source of the storm. I'm assuming he means the source of the storm. I don't know if it's the translation error or whatever, but you know how it goes. But Chozo goes, as long as, you know, Itadori continues to exist, that's wrong. That he won't be whatever Kenjaku wants him to be. And that's crazy, bro. And basically, Kenjaku wipes the floor with him, bro. Like, and he's just using basic curses on him. And he has way stronger curses. He's using like low level curses on him, and he's stomping on this boy, like he's kicking him in the face, all type of shit, bro. And you know, Chojo even tries like a hidden kind of explosion that he leaves when he gets kicked away by Kenjaku, and Kenjaku just summons a cursed spirit and blocks it with it, and he just beats the bloody shit out of him. And actually, it was in this chapter that he goes that a special grade is somebody that can defeat an entire country. And it's crazy, bro. And it's crazy. And then Yuki, you know, despite what's his name, Gengen being like, yo, can you like fucking, can you fucking like maybe Tengen, sorry, can you like Gengen, what did I say, Gengen, Tengen being like, yo, can you fucking, you know what I mean, maybe it's time for you to go fight this man Kenjaku, since Chojo seems like is it. But obviously Yuki knows something. I think, again, spirit, I think she has something to do with spirits, and I think she could tell, okay, he still has something left in his sleeve. And even though Kenjaku is saying that he's not at all fascinating, and neither his brothers, etc., you know, Chojo's like, I don't care if you say I'm not fascinating, but damn it, my brothers are fucking fascinating. My brothers are amazing. And then he uses, I think he's finally going to use all the dead paintings of his brothers, which he collected definitely in the previous chapter. He collected that in the previous chapter. Well, he collected it 100 chapters ago, but he showed us a replay of him collecting it in the last chapter. And, you know, we're going to see what he can do with his dead paintings. I think he's going to push Kenjaku but I don't think he's going to push Kenjaku quite as far as he hopes to. But I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Anyway, my dinner is arriving. I will take a quick break and come back with the next review. It's been your boy Supreme Uchiha, the God. Well, for you, it's just going to cut straight to the next review. Anyway, I digress. You wouldn't believe it, but it's the next day, and now I'm continuing on the goddamn episode. It's actually crazy. I got so tired. So the next manga I want to talk about is One Punch. One Punch Man has been sensational. So after the whole Garo situation, he goes around apologizing to people and all of that stuff because Bang makes him. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes to basically what happens in the webtoon, where he goes to, kind of refocus his mind in solitude. And yeah, so that's dope. And then obviously currently we discover about goddamn, why can't I remember any name whenever I'm about to record? It's like before I'm recording, I can remember everything. The second I start recording, I'm like, what's his name? Should I mean? Anyways, the name is Blast. I remembered Blue. I remember what the I couldn't remember Blast. That's crazy. Anyway, Blast. We find out about Blast, and basically Blast has been fighting God for the past 20 years. And God directly confronted Blast when he was fighting the centipede. So that's the interesting thing about it, because when he fought the centipede, people were like, oh, he can't obviously be nearly as strong as One Punch Man if he didn't even kill the giant centipede. And it was like, now we know why, because in the middle of him and he wasn't even trying to kill centipede, he was basically trying to capture him or her. And basically it was like, wait a minute, God pulled up on him like face to face and fought him like and hit him and attacked him like type shit. And it was like, oh shit, so he's been fighting him for 20 years. And then to top it off, we also discover that, this is gonna be spoilers for the webtoon spoilers, and probably spoilers for One Punch Man manga, because they're pretty much the same stories with more details and changes, and I don't want to say minor changes, but some changes. And basically here we have, I think the first ninja, they call him, there's a ninja guy anyway, right, in the picture, in a frame with Blast. And that guy is basically the king of all the ninjas. If you don't know about the ninjas, so Flashy Flash is one of them. Sonic is one of them as well. And there's a ninja village basically where kids are trained to assassinate and kill each other and to survive, etc., etc. Flashy Flash is one of the best prodigies, and the leader of the ninja village, he's a whole different breed. And he's evil in the webtoon, so obviously he's probably going to be evil in a manga, even though he's showcased as Blast's partner. It could also be a situation where it's kind of the way we see Orochi. No, not Orochi. It's kind of the way we see like a Boros type creature be next to Blast and be one of his teammates. I think this could also be a different ninja, or it could be that same ninja. They both have a gun, they both have two swords in their back, so it's more than likely the same ninja. But I'm putting it out there that it potentially could be another ninja person, maybe even on the good side of the things. But it's more than likely that this ninja guy that's next to Blast will get powers from God and become evil and even stronger than he was when he joined Blast. So, that's going to be really interesting. I think he's going to betray Blast, or he already has betrayed Blast, but we don't know yet. So it's super interesting to see, because he wasn't one of the people that aided Blast, I don't think, when Blast redirected Saitama's power punch with Garo. So I'm assuming that's not how it's going to go down. I'm assuming that's how it's going to go down. As a result, I think that he's been already bad, because Otherwise, I think he would have been there helping. But I could be misremembering that panel. But yeah. Anyways, what you guys think? It's been your boy. Wait, why am I ending the video? I still have one more manga to talk about. One final manga to talk about. So we talked about One Punch. We talked about Jujutsu Kaisen. Another one that's happening right now. It's actually super. I'm not enjoying it as much as I want to. And that is Black Clover. I want to talk about Black Clover. So Asta is in the land of the rising sun, which I kind of wish the world of Black Clover stuck to kind of its own world and didn't bring in Japan into it. I know that obviously. Oh, excuse me. It's 8 a.m. in the morning, guys. I'm sorry. I woke up at 6 a.m. for some stupid reason, but I know that Yami was supposed to be from another country and stuff like that. So I think that's that's why they did it. But I think it could have just been like a different country. I don't know. It just feels weird. Because even the power. I mean, I know all the countries have slightly different powering and stuff like that, but it just, I don't know. I don't really like how Black Clover brings in new things or new characters or new information. Like how some of these characters just popped out of nowhere from the Black Bulls kind of annoyed me. There was no like clues laced around the place. They were just boom. Oh, I've always been here. Ha ha ha. Convenient. I have a mecha house. Ha ha ha. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, Asta has been friends with him this whole time because he has no magic. You ain't never nearly showed us that shit. Like, what? Am I missing side stories here? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing side stories when I'm reading my Black Clover. But yeah, but I don't really like how the author introduces new characters a lot of times. I don't mind how new villains and stuff like that popping out of nowhere is fine because you're not following their story, right? You're following Asta. So people around Asta popping out of nowhere is a bit... Now, the vice captain, I will let slide. Only because they were away on a mission, and they never said who the vice captain of Black Bull was. So I think that's a good way of doing it. But a lot of the other characters that just popped out was just kind of like, bro, like really? Everybody's a Black Bull, bro. The Black Bull has what, 200 people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Guarantee you in the next 10 chapters, those are Black Bull legendary secret fucking, I don't know. But anyway, they did say that Yami was from another country, but I wish the country, I don't know. It's just like, it's completely different. You know what I mean? It's like too different from the world built. And I feel like we're reaching the end game of the story, and yet we're being introduced to whole new characters and backstories. And I don't really like when authors usher in a bunch of new shit in the last arc, unless it's something built up. You know what I mean? I know Yami's sister thing, I think, is a good thing. And Yami, killing his whole clan, but like it's nothing shocking because Asta doesn't believe that he did it for no reason. We don't believe he did it for no reason. We probably know that even his sister knows that he didn't do it for no reason. So like, there's nothing there for it. You know what I mean? It's like Itachi's massacring his clan was showcased early before we knew who Itachi was. You know what I'm saying? And we were given the perspective of it through Sasuke. That's why it worked so freaking well. When you find out, oh shit, he had a noble reason for doing it. Was it the best decision? Maybe not. But he felt it was the only option. You know what I'm saying? And he was like a 13, 14-year-old kid. He was a super young kid having to make that decision. So it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And you feel sympathy for Itachi. But first, you see him as a villain throughout. There's not even a second you think that he could potentially be a good guy until you discover his reasoning for doing what he did. And then you're like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it beautiful. It's like pain speech and all of that stuff. You're like, damn, bro. Like, I get where he's coming from. Like, yeah, he might be going overboard. He might be doing the wrong thing. But I understand how he got to that conclusion, that justification. You know what I'm saying? And I think we don't get that same kind of feeling with this Asta reveal or this, Yami reveal, because we already know Yami. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't seem to be living like he has this massive regret. You know what I'm saying? If he had that regret, like there's something he regrets, and he's been atoning for his sins because of that regret, that would be amazing. And then you say, oh, he killed people. Oh, damn, that must be what he's talking about. That must be what he's been alluding to. But he doesn't have that regret. He seems very happy and satisfied, and he's just going about his business and trying to raise up young people that are, abandoned, or that are, outcasts. And he wants them to have a lifeline and hope, the same way he was given a lifeline and hope by Julius. And I think Julius's turn as well would have been better without Vengeance having two souls as well. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of supposed to foreshadow it, but I think like the twist would have been way bigger surprise and way bigger deal if it wasn't for the Vengeance reveal, because like Vengeance and Julius were super close, and boom, Vengeance had two different souls. And then obviously the Julius one is different because Julius didn't even know he had it, and I think that was the deal he made with your man and with what's his name, with what is your man's name, bro? Wait, the evil version of him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really enjoying the Land of Japan thing that much. I like the guy with the eye, the patch eye guy. I think he's interesting. Excuse me. There seems to be a secret about his eye. So potentially he's probably the one that massacred Yami's clan, but we don't know. I don't see Yami leaving his sister or somebody like that either. So unless he was just chased out, I don't know. But those interests there, but I just don't like how things happened. You know what I mean? I feel like you should foreshadow more, or yeah, I don't know, bro. It doesn't feel like, because like the war in the kingdoms that evil Julius and them are waging, doesn't feel like Chronos or whatever. It doesn't feel like it's really affecting Japan like that at all. But apparently it will, because obviously he's gonna bring he's the king demon type of shit. He wants to be the king demon. But I don't know. It might just misunderstanding Black Clover. I don't know. It might tripping. I like the sister, Yami's sister. I like the eye patch guy. I just don't like the way they were introduced. I don't like the way Japan was introduced. I feel like they could have just done it and made it like another kingdom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shapeless kingdom or some shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if the Naruto world all of a sudden just goes, Tokyo. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work. Or if like Jujutsu Kaisen, which is based on like our planet, just goes, there's a place called Atlantis. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel, you know what I'm saying? It kind of takes away from it, because like, it's been established like this. Why are we moving away from it? I don't know. If you brought a completely different thing that doesn't exist, that's cool. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, okay, then the world is slightly different. But I just feel like the way he went about showcasing it didn't really hit the landing. I don't know. It's more like, I always have nitpicks about writing. I don't know. So, yeah, I know my book when it drops is going to be nitpicked to shit. But I'm going to foreshadow everything, baby. I'm going to foreshadow everything. But anyway, maybe I just missed it. But I love Black Clover. I'm not going to lie. I really like Black Clover. But yeah, just that last chapter didn't really hit for me. But I'm looking forward, to discover more. I want these new characters in Japan and all of that jazz. And for Asta to finally finish his goddamn training. But he's no Juno. Anyways, it's been your boy, Spiritual God. Make sure you like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'm out.